So mbona basi
sorry, Elder, about that. There was a problem with the Wi-Fi connection. Elder, you're on mute.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, so just saying I'm happy to be back. We have very little time left. Anything that somebody will want to say or ask in the next like 5 minutes or so?
I want to add on to that question.
Okay.
I also think people like they don't allow themselves to form their own like experiences or perspectives. Sasa like wataambiwa, yani the person you're in a relationship doesn't do this. That's not a relationship. Sasa they live on like other people's experiences. Our dialogue to form theirs. They want the relationship to be a certain when if it's not that way, they're not satisfied. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a great point as well. So it's not thinking for yourself. And I think that's a very, very dangerous sign. If you do not know what you want, then you shouldn't even be in a relationship in the first place. And if you're easily swayed by what people think, and I've seen this happening. I've seen even like people who are about to wed, even maybe their parents or their relatives, brothers and sisters are like, "Hi, that lady, that lady." Okay, there's good counsel that you shouldn't ignore, but if the grounds for whatever people are talking about are just unfounded and things that are not weighty, then I think that quality that you are easily swayed by them is an indication that you're not ready for a relationship and that you're just headed into a big problem. So yeah, thank you so much for that contribution as well. That's very, very important. And the only way for you to be able to know what to accept as counsel and what counsel to follow and what counsel not to follow is to have your, like we said, you have a purpose and you have a goal. When you know where you are going, you will know which vehicle is taking you in that direction. But if you don't know where you are going, you can board any vehicle that comes. So anybody who advises you on anything, you will just want to jump in and go along. But if I know that the qualities I'm looking for is somebody who is hardworking, somebody who is honest, somebody who is all these things, and probably there are other things that they feature a bit lower in my list, then I'll be able to make a decision and I'll be able to see that this person is very, very close to what I have in mind. So thank you for that. So one quick question that I've always had as well is there just one person that God created for me? And so should my life purpose be looking for this one person? And how can I know that I have met the one person? Hello? Did you hear the question? Okay, So yeah, do you have one person? Me, at least I'm married, so whether I have one person or not, that's not a big question for me. So do you think there is only one person that God created for you, and so you must find this one person? It must just be this one person.
I think maybe a question maybe we can ask ourselves is if there's only one person, if there's only one person, say Collins is the man, and he dies, will I stay unmarried for the rest of my life? So maybe we can think in that line, maybe to help answer the question.
So in other words, you're suggesting that there is not one person. Because if there was only one person, then it means your fate is bound up in just this one person. Uh-huh. Okay. What do you think?
Yeah, I was saying can't only have one person because you can't only vibe with one person, obviously. We're all social human beings, so if we vibe, we vibe. So, yeah, you can't have one person. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. Anyone else? Yeah. Someone insists that, yeah, they believe there's only one person and that by faith we can be able to find them. Okay. Anyone else?
Okay, personally, I don't think there's only one person. In my opinion, I don't believe that there's only one person that has been made for me. Maybe okay, I don't know. There's a spectrum of people with personalities and characters who can rhyme or who I can rhyme with, basically. Um, and it's basically my choice to make. It's not that one person that if life ends for them, my hopes of being in a marriage go with their death. So I think there are various different people, but now there's space, all right, for us to actually go into a relationship, consider marriage, we have to be in the same headspace. Like we have to desire that together. We have to desire that together. But if we don't, then it won't be possible for us to consider marriage. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I also think I
Yes.
also think that I also think that there is no I also think that there is no one person whom you are suited to, just as in it's that person, and if they don't marry you now, you will remain single for the rest of your life. That's because I think there's somewhere I read that um, any two any two Christians can actually get married and live together. And I feel like any two decent Christians of regular standing can actually live together. But I just like what Naila said, I just feel like it's about now bringing all the other factors that may make one person more suitable than the other, such that there is a group of people who you may be actually attracted to and who you could actually work with, but you will find who is more like who you are most suited to work with. But I don't think it's one person, because let's say that one person marries someone else. Does it mean that now because they married someone else, there is no one else I can marry because they didn't marry me? Doesn't mean that. So I feel like there is no one person where like ati ni huyo na asipo yo, it's a wrap.
Okay. I don't know if you've seen this theme in soaps and movies and other things. I'm in a relationship with someone, but someone who I consider better, in quotes, someone better comes into the scene. And so I end my relationship with someone so that I can get to somebody better, because I believe that this is better, you know, like this is the one that is meant for me. And I think it's kind of like I'd say a problem that stems from that kind of a mentality, that there is one, and when I see them I'll just know that this is the right person, and all that. I think those are some of the kind of things that we might need to free ourselves from. I saw Sandra commenting that there is probably one person who you can rhyme with more than the rest. And yes, I can see we agree with her on that. So yes, it's true. Yes, your soulmate, Noella. Yes, that's true. So yes, there is somebody who you might be able to rhyme with much better than everybody else. But and of course that's just natural. Even among a group of friends, there are some who will be more you're more attached to, and stuff like that. But I don't think we can take it so far as to say that that is the only person. So that if that person decides to get into a relationship with someone else, you even want to break that relationship because you believe this one is mine, this is meant for me, and that kind of thing. So yeah, I think it will be important for us to to think about relationships right, and to view them in the right way. So I just want to mention something, but I don't know if there was something else that anybody wanted us to discuss. But I'll go along anyway. I know that we'll need to stop at any time now. So I want to say that two mistakes as well that I have seen, and I have seen them costing people a lot, I would say. One is rushing too much. You're really in a rush. You're not yet ready. You don't know whether you are ready or not, but you meet somebody and you feel like, I just want to jump in. And you jump into a relationship, and you don't know. Now you're stuck and life is not moving. And I've seen people's life just changing, like literally. I could tell you so many stories. So that's one thing, just being in such a rush and not taking time. So you need to prepare yourself psychologically, spiritually, emotionally, in every way. You need to know like the way you prepare yourself for anything. You need to prepare yourself for a relationship and decide, when it is time for me to get into a relationship, this is what I want to do. This is how I want to go about it. So you need to be in control. That's why I always say, don't just fall in love. I mean, that phrase, falling in love, means you lost control. So don't lose control of your life because of love. Make sure that you are still in charge. Make sure that everything that is happening, you still know what is happening, where are we moving from this point to this point, and all that. And then the second mistake that I have seen people make is the opposite, delaying too much. Part of the delay is not being able to decide who is the right person for me. Okay. And like I've always mentioned, part of the tragedy of today's life is that we start thinking about relationships and marriage a little bit when we have a rather narrow window. Okay, we have a rather narrow window, because by the time you feel like now you're getting prepared, you're almost on the run already. You almost, like, it's not a marathon, it's a sprint. You have to get to the finish line. And so either you're going to rush it too much, or you're going to take time. You're going to, like, 6 ladies are going to be there before you, and you're not really able to decide among these 6. I can see they're all available, they are all okay, and I really don't know who to pick. And I'm talking to each one of them. I'm taking 6 years to pick between 6 ladies. And then soon, before you know it, all 6 of them are gone and you're still alone. So that's another challenge that I've also seen. So there are those people who do not go about it right because they go too fast, and there are those also who are going to dilly-dally. And part of the problem I've always seen is people who are not really able to make a decision, people who are not decisive. And one of the things that I think we need to learn and we need to nurture, one of the skills that we need to have is decision making. And so when I see people who ask questions that they should be deciding themselves, I get very worried. Like somebody will come and ask you, things, what we normally call conscience questions, questions that I should be able to decide between me and God, but I want to involve somebody else. That's a sign that I'm not able to exercise my gift of free will and decision and all those things. And that's a terrible sign in life. So those are skills that we need to develop. Those are things that we need we need to develop the skill of being able to collect relevant information, being able to think about things, and then being able to decide and to come to a decision and to say, okay, I think even though all these six, they're all very, very okay, that I think I need to talk to this one. And then I go sit down with her and I tell her, hi, I've been interacting with you, but I'd like to get to know you a little bit better for the purpose of checking whether we can get into a relationship. And that kind of a thing. And I think sometimes I've had people, there was a time I was with young people here in Coast, and let me say I was surprised, probably because I've lost touch with reality. But we had a session where the gentlemen and the ladies were in separate sessions. And so we had them writing questions, and we were several of us, and we were trying to respond to their questions. And one of the questions was, how do I as a man approach a lady? And initially I thought that was a very light thing and I wanted to brush it off. But when I read it, everybody was like, yeah, can you tell us how how am I supposed to approach a lady? And those kind of things. So I don't know. I really feel like there is a lot of preparation that we need to go through, and a lot of things that we need to ask ourselves, and a lot of things that we probably need to work on. But I believe and I think that we need to work on them. We need to do something about them and not just let them go now. I don't want to talk too much. This was supposed to be a Q&A session. I want to pause and just listen. If there is anybody, ladies can't approach the guys. That's an important question. Can a lady approach a guy? Please respond quickly.
Um, I personally think and believe truly that a lady should never approach a man. It's no offense to any lady who may have approached a man, but I personally do not believe so. There's a quote, okay, not a quote. There's someone who made a statement that said, um, how you start the relationship is how it will go on. And I feel like as a lady, if you're already onto a guy and going to tell him and going after a man, like I wouldn't be the man. No. So I feel like a lady, personally, I believe that a lady should never approach a man. I believe it is good that a man approaches the man and approaches the ladies, but the ladies should also learn to also be straightforward and apt and not be. Ladies should learn to know that if you like a guy and if the guy is nice and if that's the person, if the guy is what you're looking for, then this business of CG playing hard to get, CG, it's just a waste of time. Like, they should be learned to say if they like a guy, straightforward, no wasting time. Like, why are we wasting time? But a man, I don't personally, I would not want for me, I wouldn't want that I go after a man. I'd prefer that a man comes after me, and if you like him, then you can respond in a manner suggesting so, but not you going after him.
Okay, thank you for that. I can see there's somebody else who is itching to talk. Who is it? Is someone talking? Okay.
Okay, personally, I also, okay, I don't think it is wise for ladies to approach the guys. And given that if the aim of the relationship is to end up in marriage, the man should be the head of the home. He should be the one, I don't know, it feels like the relationship is being forced on him. The marriage will be forced on him. The family will be forced on him. Everything will be forced on him. He won't want to take responsibilities and do his duties as he is supposed to. As he's supposed to. So I think it is wise that the man do the pursuits. And I don't know, I don't, yeah, but I don't think ladies should approach the guys, but that is my opinion. That is what I think.
I feel like um, if you're a lady and you like have the guts, you just go. Cause even Leo kwa hii meetings, you've been told the wife is the what the companion, si companion. Umesema you should work side by side with your husband. So I don't think much as the head of the family. I feel like if you just have the guts, just go ahead. Yeah.
Me, I'm saying we are living in a new age. So where we have feminism. No, we are saying we're in that age where everyone is where equality is being the widespread norm. So if that's the way it's going, everyone should be equal. They should, if they want, they want. They should give. They should give. If you want, you go for it. If you don't want, you say you don't want.
Okay, I'm not, the issue isn't that we want to be forced into relationships, as in, yes, even if the man comes and I am not interested, I have the choice to say no. That is the power that I have. But I don't think it is our responsibility to initiate the relationship.
All right. I would have loved to discuss this a bit more. Maybe I can maybe ask a question or something of the sort. But okay, yeah. Chris says that they believe that if a girl is interested in you, she should make moves. Okay. Chris will, is it Chris or Cheers will define for us what moves means probably in a short while. But I want to ask myself this, is it natural for a lady to have feelings for a man? Can that happen?
Very natural.
Very natural. I'm good. I'm happy to hear ladies answering because I can't speak for them at this point. And is that the way God created you to be, or is it the way society has made you? Anyone?
Yeah, God made us like that. It's
Okay.
natural.
So it is natural. Now, I want to be a bit cautious. I do not think it is what's the word? I don't think it is modest for a lady to, okay, like to overly express interest and to come and say, so many words and to say many things. But I'm just asking myself, if I were a lady and I'm interested in somebody, and we're in the same lesson discussion group, and he's just shooting points, and he's not like even noticing I'm in this group. And I can see that if I had a shopping list, this person has like 7 out of the 10 items in my shopping list. And the 3 that he doesn't have are non-essential. They are nice to have. They are not must-haves. Apart from praying, is there something I can do without like going to this guy and telling them, by the way, I've been seeing you around, and me, I just think we were made for each other. Yeah, without doing that, is there something that a lady can do? I usually use a story in the Bible, and I want to bring it up again. The question is there anything a lady can do if they are interested in somebody, but this person has not yet showed interest in them? Is there anything a lady can do? Yes, Noela, I think that's the story I'm talking about. Did you say Boaz?
I think, okay, I think there's the example of Ruth and Boaz, but she didn't go outrightly and tell Boaz, Boaz, I am a widow and I need to be married again. She didn't go directly. Okay, what she was advised by Naomi was to do some things that suggested that she, or rather that was understood that she suggested she wanted to get married, but she didn't go outrightly. She didn't go to Boaz and tell him, "By the Boaz, me, I want to be remarried, and I want you to be the one to remarry me." She suggested, but she didn't outrightly put all her cards on the table. So yeah.
You're on mute.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, so I want to agree with that, and probably just suggest that ladies can have creative ways of communicating without being without being just putting everything out there, and probably somebody is just not thinking about certain things at that particular point, but God might help you to help them to think, being a man, I I would probably be I would probably be taken aback if a lady came and sat me down and told me certain things, and I'd ask myself probably a lot of questions. But if a lady was, just, I don't know what I can say, but I can give examples. Yeah. So like, there are these people who later on ended up being married, and I happened to be with them in our Adventist group way back. So they were our youth leaders. And this lady was, I think she was either a nurse or she was working in the hospital. And the guy was in school. He was in his final year. And so I just tend to think that this guy was not yet like thinking of a serious relationship, but the lady was already done with most of the things that she wanted to do in her life. And so she was probably more prepared for a relationship. And I think she was just asking herself, could this person be interested, and that kind of a thing. And but we normally used to have our lunch in church. We normally used to make our lunch, and then we would have it together in church, I think, as Syokimau young people do. And then this lady, when we were having our Friday Vespers, she asked this guy, I'm making some very nice chapati in my house. Would you like to come over for lunch tomorrow? You know, of course, if she just wanted, if she just wanted, if she just wanted just this person to eat the chapati, she could have brought the chapati to church, you know? And so, of course, this would give this person a hint that this is not just a normal lunch. This is not just something normal, yeah? And the guy was, he took the lunch offer. And so the next day, instead of joining the rest of the youths in church for lunch, they went and they had their lunch in the house and they started talking. Yes, you can add them extra brown chapatis during potluck, but you also need to be careful. You also need to be careful. So let it not just be something like you've thrown everything out there, but I tend to think, that is just my thoughts, and I normally lean towards that story of Ruth and Boaz. And as Noella said, there might be things that are socially and culturally accepted that people will not frown upon. In the Israelite culture, what Ruth did is what was socially accepted. So even in our culture, if giving someone an extra brown chapati is what is going to, you know, is going to make them say, hey, no, you, you know, maybe that's what you could do. So how, if somebody proposes to be in a relationship with you and you're just not into this person, how do you say no? Is there any way of declining politely? Or should you send them a text and put them in their place? I wish I could listen to that discussion.
I just want to respond to like your story yesterday, Mr. Sai. You know,
Okay.
even the guys, they suggest, they don't like come to and tell you, by the way, I want to marry you. So unaona aje. They also suggest. Sasa, yeah, I don't see the problem. Yes. And hiyo ya kupropose kusema no, maybe you just call them, ask them to meet, and yeah, tell them you're not in it.
Okay, yeah, thank you for those, both of those points. It is true, even men suggest, and things probably grow. Nobody always has the guts to just come and say things like at a go. So that's true as well. And the second response, that you can just meet and discuss and say whatever is on your mind. Yeah, thank you for that. Any other thoughts?
I also think, okay, kindly repeat the question. I don't know if I got it really well.
How do you say, how do you decline a proposal
Oh,
to be in a relationship? The how do you do it?
I think you just say it like it is. You just, my personal experience is that you just say it as it is. Especially because I feel like, especially now speaking from the lady side, because I feel like men are not very quick to pick signals as easily as ladies do. Like for us ladies, it's very easy to pick a signal. If a guy doesn't like you, it's very easy for you to know. But for the men, I feel like it's very difficult. So my advice to my sisters is that sometimes you just put it like it is, like evil too, like you say it in the most Christ-like manner, but make sure you put it as bluntly as it is. That's how they understand it. That's from my experience.
Oh, poor men. Okay. So men, you have to be told just plain for you to know and to understand. Now, I wanted to say something. I wanted to say something on that. I believe that there'll be probably like several steps or stages in a relationship. There's just where you're seeing each other, you're saying hi, and you begin to be interested in someone. When you're interested in someone, like I think it was Sandra who said, you might not immediately go with a proposal. You might give some hints, you drop hints and check whether there's any response. Is there any signal ama hakuna network? If you're thinking that there is a signal and there is a network, then I think it would be wise for you to have a conversation. Okay. And that's why I say and I insist, don't fall. Okay. Sometimes people act on signals and hints, and in your mind, you're in a relationship with somebody who has no idea anything like that. And that has happened to me. So I strongly believe that if you're mature and you're serious in your life, if you get to a point where you are thinking that there might be a response, you're seeing something that looks to you like a signal, ask to meet, ask to talk and discuss. And then if I now put the question on the table and I say, this is what I am thinking, it gives an open and a clear chance for a lady to say yes or no, or let me think about it, or let me pray about it, or I'm not ready. I think I might be interested in a relationship with you, but not at this point. So the man is free to go and make his decision whether they want to wait or they want to jump into any other ship that is available. But I think it's very, very important to have a conversation. Don't rely on hints and go for like 2 years and you're claiming that you're in a relationship with somebody and you've never sat down and talked and had like a conversation. So you're building castles in the air and you want to go and move in and live in those castles, my friend, you're going to fall down. So yeah, I think it's important. And if that opportunity for a conversation was available, then it would be easy to say yes or no, or wait, or I don't know. It's something of the sort. So that's my own personal thought. But if as a lady, you're seeing somebody is just dropping hints, not saying anything, dropping hints, what do you do? Because that will happen to you. They're just dropping hints. Let's say you're not interested in them. What do you do?
We were just discussing here. If a guy is dropping hints and he is not saying anything, run for your life. It might be a sign of a tripler.
Okay, run for your life. Where running means you leave Syokimau Church, or what exactly does running mean in this context?
Escape and run away. Do not entertain. Do not entertain that kind of thing. Do not allow someone to carry you like a child. In short, usitike mtu akubebe utoto.
All right. Okay. And in case you're interested, okay, as Sandra says, you can ask as well and say, hey, I've been noticing, I've been seeing. Let's say you're the guy and brown chapos, every potluck, you're the only person getting brown chapatis. You can ask as well. I don't know if ladies will want to ask, but I know men can easily ask. What if you're interested? The person is dropping hints, and there are some personalities who will probably have a difficult time putting a proposal on the table, and that's their way of communication. What do? You're genuinely interested and you're saying, wow, it's even a silent prayer. You know, those silent prayers that we always give. But you're waiting and they're not saying anything, then what happens?
I think you can give the man the opportunity to state his intentions. Like maybe if you find yourselves together sometime, like tuseme church imeisha, mmebaki nyinyi wawili mnapiga story, and then you see like he's trying to say but he's not saying. You ask him, maybe this is something that you wanted to tell me. He can gather the courage, or he'll notice that you've noticed that there's something he wants to say, and he's probably nervous, and he'll gather the courage to ask you, but not taking the words out of his mouth, not asking him, do you want to be in a relationship with me? I do. we can't live like that.
Wow, I think that's so nice. Thank you so much for that. I think that's a very, very nice approach. That's a very nice way that you can create an environment. And let me tell you, there's there's, I hope this, okay, let me just say it because I'm not going to reveal any identities, but at some point, somebody, a lady, told me, I think somebody is interested in a relationship with me. And they're not talking, they're not saying anything, but whenever we are going home, I'm with my group of friends, even though their home is on that other side, they're walking with us going this way. And you know, they're around, but they're not saying anything. And I have been waiting for them to say, and I can tell that this lady would scream yes if that question was asked, but the question is not coming. And so she was asking me now, what exactly do I do? And I didn't have an answer. Maybe if that question ever comes up again, I might want to propose that. But I think being able to create an opportunity might be a good thing. And there are some people who are extremely analytical in their minds. Yeah, extremely analytical in their minds, and things have to fall exactly the way they have planned them to be. And so they want to ask you even out just for a date. And in their minds, they are thinking, today after church, I'm going to ask her just to remain behind, like just for 2 seconds. And then I'm going to ask her, are you free like Sunday afternoon? And I was thinking of going to, you know, wherever, and I'm going to ask her. And then at the point when he's just going to ask you to stay behind, the leader suddenly says, so and so, could you please come and help me carry the bench? And you know, the whole plot just falls and everything crumbles. And it's going to take them another 3 months to master, like to plan out exactly what to do. So, you know, those kind of people. So you might be seeing like somebody is, you know, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. So you might be able to find a way of, creating an environment that is going to be accommodative for this person, if you feel that that's somebody who there's a potential for a good future. Now, these things might look very, very minor. They might look like they're very, very small. But I think if you think about them beforehand, and you make up your mind, in case these scenarios come into play, what exactly is going to happen? Because you might find a lady who would have loved to be in a relationship with someone, but they don't get into that relationship because of things that could have been worked on, you know. At the end of the day, we will recognize that we all have our weaknesses and we all have our personalities and other things. So it's important for us to have those things in mind. All right. I'm surprised we've not been told to go back. I'm a Miribel. If it's time to stop, kindly let me know so that we can stop. But in the meantime, until I am told that time is over, we can continue talking. Any other question or addition or thoughts?
We've already been called, but we can wind up. Like, maybe
Oh,
one more question to close.
all right. Maybe one last thing. Anything? Okay. It sounds like there's nothing. Is that true? All right. So I think just to, in closing, um, I think my final remarks would be that let us pray over social matters. They are very, very important. I think that's one of the things that can really just change someone's life. So let's approach them with a lot of spiritual discretion and a lot of sobriety and maturity. And the second thing is, let us prepare. Let us not say that when I get to 25, 27, 29, things will just fall into place. Everything, Swahili say, ukiona vyaelea, huh? Ukiona vyaelea jua vimeundwa, something of the sort, right? Yeah, if you see something working out, a lot of work went into it, okay? So you choose for yourself what kind of relationship you want to have. If you want to have a good relationship, start building a foundation for it. Know and prepare yourself and do everything so that very few things happen by chance in this life. In the book of Galatians, Paul says, what you plant, what you sow is what you also reap. Okay. So if you want to have a serious relationship, you have to really work on it. Yeah, and the third thing that I would say is that I think I've already said the two things. The third one might be included in them. The third one is be intentional. Yeah, I think it's more or less like a repetition of the second point, but be intentional. Don't fall. Don't, things should not go out of control. You should always be in charge of each and everything that is happening. This was not part of my points, but the last thing that I would like to say is that there's a lot of help available. And like I think I mentioned either on Saturday or Sunday, when you get to a point where you seriously want to work with someone, seek help. Be very, very open to getting help and get as much help as you can. I believe it is you're going to thank God for that kind of an opportunity. So I want to say that I have greatly been blessed by our time together. I lament it has been, to me, it has been so squeezed. It has been rather, I think, squeezed. And then the fact that we are not in the same place. There are certain things that you just can't discuss like remotely. It just doesn't work out so well. But I thank God even for that little opportunity that we had. We appreciate that it is all that we had, and we thank God for it. But yeah, I feel like we could have had a more engaging discussion, and we could have had more opportunities to interact, but we leave it all to God. And I thank God for this opportunity, and I thank you all so much for the chance to be able to discuss and to be part of your lives in this way. May God continue to bless you, and God continue to keep you. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Personally, I don't know you personally, and I hope I'm speaking on behalf of everyone else. This week's family life session has been a blessing, and we thank you for the much that you've been able to share with us. We believe that we have come out with things that we also need to do ourselves, and we pray for grace that we can be able to do them. The books that we need to read in preparation and all those things. So and that God may give us the grace to make the decisions that we need to make now in preparation for the future. So thank you very much for taking the time, making the time to discuss with us, no matter how difficult it has been with the distance and doing this thing virtually and not being able to interact with us physically. We thank God for the blessings nonetheless that we have been able to garner through the week. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so thank you, Elder. I think, is anyone who maybe wants to say something? No, okay. So, yeah, thank you. And when you come from Likoni, you can come and say hi to us here. Yeah. Anita can pray for us as we end the meeting.
Let us pray. Oh God, we thank you for this day. We thank you for enabling us to have a blessed Sabbath, and also whatever we've learned, may you enable us to apply them in life. And as we finish this lesson and cup meeting, please may you be with us, protect us, and guide us. For it's in Jesus' name I do pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Elder. Say hi to your family. Yeah. Have a good Sabbath and a good week.
All right. Thank you all also. Bye.